So today we're going to be speaking about a very important topic, and we take these events and we every Tuesday we come together and we discuss. We have sacred music, and we eat sacred food. So all the food that you've we say, some people say ate, but we say honored because it's sacred. The food that you honored have been cooked by the monks here, and it's been done in a good consciousness with fresh ingredients. You could probably taste it if you tasted it, right? And we discuss about sacred topics. And today I wanted to speak a little bit of a topic that is dear to my heart, is about an identity crisis. And before we do a little bit of what an identity crisis is, let's explore about what our actual identity is. Is that okay? It's like an airplane seat, it's like, those emergency seats, you need like a verbal yes. So I need a yes. Yes. So before we start, let's do a little exercise and let's all stand up. Except me. The cord's not big enough. So let's all stand up. And if you just suspend your disbelief for a second and just close your eyes and keep your hands to your side. And I'm gonna lead us in a little bit of a meditation. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes. And if you don't, it's fine. And before we dive into the crisis of identity, I wanted us to step into a tiny crisis of our own. So we've all come in today as someone. We've come in as a student, a worker, a patient, a thinker, a dreamer, maybe even someone who's a little lost. But let's try. Let's try to see what's left when we take all of this away. Let's imagine we're peeling away the layers of who we think we are. First, take away your name. Whatever people call you, let it fall off. It's just a label. Let's strip away your job or role. Student, engineer, leader, artist, mother, son. That's what you do. It's not who you are. Make sure to breathe. Now your achievements, your grades, your promotions, how many followers you have, applause, everything gone. Now your failures, your regrets, mistakes, the I'm not good enough, let them go too. Even your body, how tall you are, what's the color of your skin, what you look like in the mirror. That's just the clothing your soul wears. So now, with all of that stripped away, I ask you the question, who are you? Who's left after we took out everything? Thank you. If you are feeling comfortable, you can open your eyes, sit back down. Thank you for engaging the meditation. Now I want you guys to look at each other, and I want you guys to get in pairs of 2 or 3 and discuss for the next 1 or 2 minutes. And so, who, maybe you can explain actually who you are. Go ahead. After you've taken everything away, who are you? How did it feel? Dad.
Even the eight Prakriti, all the mind, intelligence, air, body, everything. So I really don't know.
Are you the subtle body? Are you the gross body? So what are you?
I'm the soul. I can't really identify. I guess I can identify with my consciousness, but is that like exactly? No, I can say I'm the servant of Krishna. Am I really the servant of Krishna? If I'm performing devotional service, how am I performing devotional service? Because I have my friends. Because I engaged in some.
At least you're recognizing that you're a soul philosophically, but you may still have some things in your manas and your buddhi that is still not solidified that you're the soul, right? That's why we lack the understanding of what our spiritual body is. So very nice. I hope we can. Let's get back into a group. So how did that feel? Amazing? Weird. What was weird about it?
Because you usually identify yourself with the things you have stripped. I was telling her, like I always felt like everybody had something, but like what's my thing? Or I had a thing, but then it changed. So it's like, okay, but who am I? What's after it? So yeah, I think it can be scary to ask yourself, okay, like, what am I actually like?
Yeah. We get so much caught up by this and that and identifications. But when I come in, and especially even in spiritual circles, we get into the thing, oh, he is this, she is that, from there, from that. But if you really want a spiritual practice to go deeper, you must strip yourself away from these things, at least when we come into a sacred space and come as just little souls. And so I just wanted to begin with this because this is the identity crisis that we're all facing. That what you just felt, that uncertainty, that peeling away of identity, that's exactly where a battle in the battlefield of Mahabharata, in the Kurukshetra, this is exactly what was happening to a warrior called Arjuna. And Arjuna, he's in a very big predicament. And he's not just facing an army, he's facing a breakdown of everything he thought he was. He thought he was a warrior. He thought he was a brother. And he thought he was a leader. And in that confusion, he turns to Krishna and he asks, who am I and what should I do? It's very important. So this is where the Gita begins. And so I just wanted to bring you this quote. The hardest and easiest thing that you can do is be yourself. Very hard and very easy. Very easy, but very hard.
People just don't like it.
Yeah. So let's speak a little bit about Arjuna's identity crisis. Is everybody familiar with the Bhagavad Gita? Everybody's heard of it. Maybe that you haven't read it, or maybe today's the day to start reading. So the basic premise is Arjuna is on a battlefield. He's a warrior, and he's confused, about what he wants to do. And life, as you know, as you can see, is like a battlefield. And when we're in a battlefield of life and you're asking for instructions, there's two things that become very important. What are you going to do now? And what is the ultimate thing to do? Because, when you're in a battlefield, death is very close. It could come at the next second. So what am I going to do now? And what am I doing am I doing this whole thing for, right? So what prepares after this life? So Krishna starts explaining this. Arjuna's identity was a warrior. But his warrior identity dictated him to fight and kill. But what he saw on the other side was his grandfather, Bhishma. And he said, this is my grandfather. On the other side of the battlefield is the great warrior, Drona, who taught me how to fight. Am I supposed to kill my own family, my own brother, my own grandfather, my own teacher? All this was conflicting in the mind of Arjuna. And Arjuna's having a identity crisis. And when you have an identity crisis, you go into depression. And this identity crisis is without any form of social media. Now it's probably 10,000 times more. And Arjuna is confused because his duty is to fight, but his mood is not to fight. And because he didn't want to fight, what happens when you tell a kid to do something he doesn't want to do? He makes excuses. I don't want to do this. And he gives so many excuses why not to fight. And it actually comes to borderline escapism. And he finally tells to Krishna, please, Krishna, you guide me what to do. Krishna says that you have all the weapons. You're the greatest fighter. But you have one weapon which I am going to give to you, which is called Jnana Sina. Repeat after me, Jnana Sina. And that means the sword of knowledge. And the sword of knowledge is given by Krishna to cut through the knots of doubt. So Krishna's, if you look at the Bhagavad Gita, when we say it's a book about in a battlefield and a warrior and his guide, people think it's about battle strategies or weaponry. But he is not teaching a battle of fighting or weaponry. He's teaching about the inner battle. So Krishna is coming to teach this to Arjuna. And so we're going to explain. So Arjuna, as many warriors have different aspects and different roles, Arjuna's role in this fight is a archer. He's very good with the bow and arrow. And with the bow and arrow, there's two things. There's some things that are very important. The first thing is you got to draw back to shoot, right? It's not like you just throw the bow at them, right? So you have to pull back. So yes, we understand. We'll take this analogy of the bow and we'll understand it like this, that there is success, there's dharma, and there's identity. We all want success. But it's very hard to get success in this world. But you need to first know what is your dharma. And dharma means what is your purpose. It is almost like what is innate to your nature. Like the dharma of salt is to be salty. The dharma of water is to be wet. Give me another example. The dharma of sugar is to be sweet. You must know that. If you know what is your purpose, then only you can get your success, right? And for you to know your purpose, you need to know who you are. And that is the identity. And with success, dharma, and identity, you see there are even two sides to that. There's the material side, and then there's the spiritual side. And we'll be explaining a little bit about this more and more. But an unfortunate roadblock that comes when we're trying to find these things and find these applications is that we get carried away by distractions. Yes or yes? Yes. We live in a world that is full of distractions. It's designed the world is designed for you to not reach your full potential of understanding your identity. Because if you've the ancient wisdom literatures teach that if you've understood your identity, then actually happiness comes from within. And when happiness comes from within, that is not very good for the capitalist pockets, because you'll stop consuming, right? And then that is no longer very good for the economic system. And I'm I studied economics, so I understand this quite well. So Krishna relieves Arjuna from this anxiety by giving us the first teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. And the first teaching of the Bhagavad Gita that Krishna explains is this. And I like to give you the Sanskrit so you just know how the original language is sounding. So the second verse of this is Dehinosmin yata dehe Kaumaram yovanam jara Tatha dehantara praptir Dhiras tatra namuyati. Would someone like to read this in a loud voice?
Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body, from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change.
Wow. This is amazing. Has anybody heard this verse before? Very, very common verse in the Bhagavad Gita that is quoted. But this is such a profound point, even for if you're hearing it for the first time or you're hearing it for the bazillionth time, is that we have a nature that is not identifiable to this body. We're like people are always talking about aliens. We are the alien. we are the alien in this body. So it is so simple and so profound. And Krishna is basically telling Arjuna, and I'll translate it to our language, you're not a man. And this is the first exercise we did. We're not a man. You're not a woman. You're not young. You're not old. We are a physical body made up of 5 material elements. And I made a little chart to explain this a little bit. That if you just look at it from the external lens, the physical body is the hardware. It is made up of 5 material elements: fire, earth, water, air, and ether. This is what you're seeing. And I remember when I was growing up, there was a show called, probably not a good show to watch, Breaking Bad. Remember that show, Breaking Bad? And in Breaking Bad, there's a famous scene of they had just killed somebody or something, and they're scooping all the dead bodies into like a bucket or something. And it's cutting back to when the main character, he's not really a protagonist, he's not a good guy, and he's going into a science book, and he's actually calculating how much percentage of the body is what, how much carbon is in your body, how much nitrogen is your body, how much oxygen is your body, how much calcium is in your body. It's very, and if you sum up if you just put your body into a calculator and you put how much is this much calcium, nitrogen, and oxygen, how much is it worth? It's less than like $5, your body, to buy like this much calcium, this much nitrogen, this much oxygen. But are you only worth just $5? No. At least I would pay $5 for all of you. Maybe a little more. So, for Shrikar 6. So the physical body is just made of these elements. And then so under the physical body, there's a subtle body, which consists of the mind, the intelligence, and the ego. And we can see the mind, which in Sanskrit is called manas, is the faculty of emotion, of desire, of acceptance, of rejection, of past impressions. And what does the mind like to do? The mind likes to seek temporary gratification. It likes to that the one who's saying like, oh, go get that tub of ice cream at 9 p.m. at night, it's time to eat. That's the mind. Now, in contrast, we have the intelligence. The intelligence is the faculty of discrimination. It is analysis and decision making, and uses good logic and the ancient wisdom literatures to make decisions. And then under that, the subtle body is we have the soul, which is you. And the soul, you're the user, that is being covered by these coverings. Now, I'll give you, if you were there for last week's class, this picture will look familiar. No, not last week, 2 weeks ago, Anshu gave the class, and he used the same picture. And we see the person in the back who's looking frightening. That's the soul. This person with the reins is the intelligence. The reins itself are the mind, and the horses in this painting are the senses. And you see the senses have, like the horses have collars, like the eye, the nose, the ear, the touch, the taste. So how it's supposed to go is the soul is supposed to control the intelligence, trying to tell the intelligence what to do. And then the intelligence is supposed to tell the mind, okay, this is what you're supposed to do. And the mind will tell the senses, okay, now you know the soul's goal. You know what the soul wants to do. And you should use that. You should do that. But what's happening in our circumstance is our senses are getting so happy, and they're like, oh my God, this is so great. This is so great. Our senses are like, oh my gosh. I'm not demonizing ice cream. I love ice cream. But oh my gosh, ice cream. Then the mind is like, oh, but I didn't know I was supposed to have ice cream. I thought ice cream is not so good for you, especially at 10 p.m. at night. But it's okay. We'll go along with it. The mind tells the intelligence. Then the intelligence are like, oh yeah, I think I read a scientific study that ice cream's pretty good for you at 9 p.m. at night. Then the soul is like, what's happening here? I thought we're on a diet. So we're supposed to be going from the soul, and that's supposed to be controlling our reality and our perception and our interaction with the world. But what's happening is our interaction with the world is controlling our lives. And so that's where we have problems with anger, problems with depression, problems with so many things. And I just wanted to bring this, is that if you wanted to get success, both spiritually and materially. Now, this can also be on the spiritual level, that there's material success and spiritual success. For that, you need to know your dharma. And there's two types of dharma. There's the sva-dharma, and then there's your sanatan dharma. Sva-dharma means, what is your work? What are you supposed to do in this world? Some people are carpenters, some people are IT professionals, some people are dentists, and that's okay. But it should be connected to Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan means eternal. What is my eternal purpose in this world? And you must ask these questions. And once you get connected to your Dharma, then you get to your material identity. You may have many material identities. I have a mother and a father, so I'm a son. I have friends, so I'm a friend. But then I also connect with my spiritual identity, which I take time every day to identify. I'm a soul. I'm just a soul. Like I was just hearing a spiritual leader give a class, he was on a podcast. And then on the podcast, they asked him, can you introduce yourself? And he said, yes, I am one of million souls wandering around, and I got a little bit of spiritual knowledge, so I'm just trying to share it. That's so nice, right? Sometimes I just came back from visiting my spiritual teacher, and he lives in California. And he was telling all of us that sometimes he just looks in the mirror, he's like, wow, I have a body here. I have a body. I have like hair coming out of places that I don't want to come out of. I have a big nose. I have eyes. And And I didn't choose any of this. I didn't choose any of this, but I have it. So better use it properly. So the material identity is there, but the spiritual identity has a soul. So there's identity, dharma, and success, and we went over how that you can find a spiritual and material. Now you may ask the question: how do I connect with my spiritual side? And one thing that has really helped me, and I really recommend, is joining the 5 a.m. club. We're taking signups right outside. And this is just one example. We have many examples about how you can connect your spiritual side. But what I like to do every morning is I like to wake up very early, 4:30 or 4, and I like to, before even the sun rises, before the world starts, and most importantly, before the WhatsApp notifications start coming in, I like to connect with my spiritual side. Put my phone on airplane mode and just try to chant and be with my spiritual side. And you can see, if you connect with your spiritual identity the first thing in the morning, everything you do, whether you're like the other material identities we have as a worker, a dentist, or a doctor, all of that becomes a part of your spiritual practice. It's not, some people say, how do I balance my material life with my spiritual life? The solution is make everything your spiritual life. See how you can connect everything with spirituality. And the first step you can do is to connect with, it's like one senior teacher, he says, vote with your feet. So how much is it of a importance when that's the first thing you do? Instead of going on the first thing you do, go on, like you wake up, your alarm goes off, and you go on Instagram or Facebook. What I missed through the night? Because what you're doing is that, would you allow 50 or 100 people in your bedroom at that time? No. But you're allowing everybody on Instagram, everybody on Facebook, everybody on CNN, everybody on TikTok to come in your room and affect your consciousness the first day. And the first thing in the morning. That's pretty, for lack of a better word, pathetic. And I'm a recovering social media addict as well. And I can show you another very, very hard-hitting slide from another presentation. So connect with the spiritual side. Everything fades, but connect with reality. Help understand what is actually real. If something I'll tell you another reason why we have an identity crisis. Because if something fades, the truth can't be transient. The truth can't be transitory. The truth can't just come and go. Therefore, the world is designed that everything will fade away. The issue comes is that we identify with things that fade away. Yes or yes? Yes. And all these things, like if we're proud of our abilities, I have a very good body, I have a very nice face, I have a very good this, that we lose that. And people try to use Botox and things to like fix that up. And it does, and it looks even worse sometimes. And then so what are the looks? Fade. Our success, whoa, I'm so on the top of my career. I'm getting more and more. What happens after that? Somebody becomes more successful than you. Anybody had that experience or just me? Yeah. Relationships. When we have our relationships, things change. Things change, and our relationship with people fade. So when identity crisis happens, it's because we're basing ourselves on something that is temporary. But if we take some time this week, and this is something you can start from right today or tomorrow, to reconnect with the spiritual side, you will see that you will have a better overall connection with all the things that you interact with. And that is the goal of the spiritual practice that we do. And that is what Krishna teaches in the Bhagavad Gita. So thank you so much. And if there's any questions or comments or anything that I can share, I can be of service. Yes. We also have the great sage Narada Muni in the back, and he can, and he's a very learned scholar also, so he can also help a lot.
Didn't the Lord basically instruct Arjuna that he was born a warrior, and as such, his duty was to go out on the battlefield and perform, and it would be better for him to do that and fail than to not do that in the state of what should I do?
Yeah.
Because that was his dharma.
Exactly.
So, and then he was explaining to him that even if that were the case, you're eternal, they're eternal. It's all eternal. So it's like, it was better to him to perform his dharma.
Yeah.
That was like his programming, right?
Right. So
Programming.
It's like what you're meant for. Like Krishna tells Arjuna, better to do your whatever comes to you naturally, imperfectly, rather than do something something that is prescribed for someone else perfectly. Like actually, Arjuna wanted to run away and become a monk. If you look at, and that's my job. And he wanted to go and become a monk, and Krishna says, no. It is not for you. This path is not for you. This is based on the training you have received, what we have noticed since you're a kid. So basically, what this teaching is teaching us is that we should definitely learn, and we should definitely look into what is our nature in this world. What are we? Because we're put into jobs and put into situations that we don't have control of.
So how do we know what's our job?
This takes some. It's nobody can really tell you.
It's something inside.
It's something inside, and you have to explore. And Krishna is giving us guidance through, like for example, he says that in the 14th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, he says that for spiritual life, there are three modes of material nature. There's the mode of goodness, the mode of passion, and the mode of ignorance. And the mode of goodness is kind of like, think of like very happy things and more like a controlled lifestyle. The mode of passion is like work, money, drugs, rock and roll, all this stuff. That's kind of like the mode of passion. Mode of ignorance, it's like sleeping and like very, very kind of like you don't know what's happening. Lethargy, yeah. So Krishna is telling Arjuna that for spiritual life, as like a trampoline, it is better for the spiritualist who is actually very interested to make spiritual advancement to go from the mode of goodness. So you can try in your lives if trying to make your life as in the mode of goodness as possible. You can, and I know people who work on Wall Street and who are spiritualists, and their job is very like go, work. But they've just attuned their life in such a way that they've gotten the spiritual training so that when they're hit with passion and rajas in Sanskrit, then it doesn't really affect them as much. So try to read the Bhagavad Gita, and in I can select certain chapters that I would think anything from chapter 12 all the way to 18. It really helps finding how you can work in this world and try to find work in this world. That's helped me a lot. Yes.
I think what we often see is that people like in the goodness who have a lot to give then mingle kind of with people from the passion, and it's not just like we want diversity and we want to mingle, but what does it mean when people with passion who are after the money and material things then kind of take away from the light from people who want to like stand up for goodness? Because in that moment where they drain energy, that person with the goodness cannot be as good for everyone else. So then the question is the duty now or the dharma to help this person proceed with the consciousness, or is it to remove yourself again to be available for the service of the greater good.
I also thought of this because when you're a monk in New York City,
Yeah.
very unusual place to find a monk.
Yeah.
You think you don't really, when you see a monk, you're like, wow, that's I didn't think they'd be here. So we've also questioned ourselves like that. Like, is it better for me to be in the mode of goodness, or is it better for me to go and try and be in the mode of passion and try to help people in the mode of passion? But I've realized through my practice, and other people can share as well, that charity starts at home. So the first thing to do is to make yourself. How can you help somebody else if we ourselves aren't sufficiently healthy yet? Like, doctor, heal thyself first. So I would recommend that find a stable position where you can practice spirituality and live in a mode of goodness lifestyle. And then once you're in that stable lifestyle, and that stable lifestyle, you can test it by time. Time is the best test, is if that process is very stable. If you're being stable for some time, then actually you can take baby steps to try to help others. But if I go while I'm weak to try to help others as much as I can, how much can I really help without myself being affected by consciousness? Does that make sense? Thank you so much for the question.
I have a question.
Yes.
The 5 a.m. club has to be at 5 a.m. or like because
Good.
I'm very like I'm good with being strict with myself, like working out, doing this, doing that, but I struggle like waking up so early. I can't.
Yes.
Like and I'm a person that I need slow mornings, so I need to wake up 1 hour early before I wake up.
Yeah.
Because I need my time to process, then to have coffee. I don't want to speak with people.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I need like 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
But the problem is like I would love to. I wake up at 7, but it's even hard for me. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't know if maybe it's silly what I'm saying, but I feel like men, it's easier for them to wake up. They sleep less than women. But I want to start meditating when I wake up, but I don't know, it's really hard for me, the morning thing. I don't know if somebody else
You can do it
struggles
throughout
with
the
that.
whole day.
What?
Like I do it. I do it throughout the whole day. I meditate throughout the whole day.
That's
No, I
good.
know, but in the morning I feel
You don't have to
something's better.
necessarily do it in the morning.
No,
You
before
usually-
bed or in the morning, but
Yeah.
I feel like the morning is something.
The morning
special.
does have some specialty to it. And I will say that the way to, what has worked for me, because I used to wake up when in college, I used to wake up super late, 8 a.m., 9 a.m., half the day's over. But what's helped me is that it's not about waking up early, it's about going to sleep early. So if we want to join,
Early for you.
if we want to join the 5 a.m. club, it starts at night. So like when I usually wake up at like 4. And no, I'm also an extreme circumstance, Louis can probably share a more relatable example. But as a monk, we all wake up by 4. That's the latest. We have some monks who wake up at 2:30 here. It's insane. So I wake up at 4 and I try to get about 6 to 7 hours of sleep every day. And that seems to be working for my body. And that means I wake up. Well, you do the math. If I sleep at 9, 10, I go to sleep. Louis, would you have anything to share about this?
I think definitely planning for success. So you take your clothes out of you have your clothes, your book, your meditation equipment, you put it next to where you want to be, so you don't have to do so much stuff in the morning. So I wake up more like at 5. So I wake up, I go to bed, try to be by bed by 9, so I can go to sleep by 10. It helps if you wake up and take a shower, because then it's like the body just like goes. But I think it's just being like maybe you start 6:30, then 6, then 5:30. Like don't try to like jump
Yeah.
so much. As long as you're making progress, it's also like more encouraging. Like it's better to woke up for a week at 6:30, then I'm trying to do the 5, but you just like keep failing, so you get more demotivated. So make a plan, and if you plan, things work.
Try implementing things slow. When you implement things slowly, you'll see that they'll last longer. If you implement things very rushed and without much thinking, then actually those things won't last as long because you're implementing them in the mode of passion. So like when I was waking up, trying to wake up earlier, it's like 15 minutes at a time, like 7:45, 7:30, and I would hold that for like the 15 minutes, like for like 3-4 days, and then I can do 15 more minutes. And so by that, you'll see that even the activities that you focus on during the week, also it's like also like, are we using our phones as much when we are uh, before we go to bed? Because that also affects. What are we listening to? What are we eating? If we're eating too much spicy things and things like that, that keeps us up also. So it's about gradual implementation of the mode of goodness. About phones, and I promised I'd share you guys this, that I will show you this amazing thing that I had found, and you guys can take benefit. Oh, it signed me out. Second. Any other questions? Did anybody have? No? Okay, I'll just show you this and then we can start. We can do a little bit more kirtan.
I
Yeah.
can add something to
Yeah, Shrikar.
because I used to have a schedule, so I work remotely. I think a lot of us have 9 to 5 jobs, so I actually, like 4 out of the 5 days I work remotely, I would actually wake up like at 9:30 and I'd log on and I'd be all sleepy in my bed. This was my schedule for about a year, and it was really bad because it set the precedent for the day in a very like mode of passion, as I was saying, a mode of passion sort of vibe, and it would really ruin my day because, as what I said, believe it or not, like a lot of your time like can be so nicely spent in the morning, but you lose all of that energy when you wake up like later in the day. And I actually made a decision to move because I realized I was commuting a lot in the evenings. So I even made a decision, like a major decision, to move locations so that I would commute less, just so I could sleep earlier. And I just made a lot of lifestyle changes, and I bought things that like would speed up my day. So if it was like, okay, like usually I make breakfast at night and then I have it in the morning. So I would like speed up the way I would do that. I would meal prep, make a lot of these lifestyle changes. And once you actually wake up earlier, and as you were saying, you don't have to wake up, like you don't have to go from waking up at 7 a.m. to waking up at 4 a.m. I don't wake up at 4 a.m.
No, I wake up 2 hours before, but
Yeah.
I feel like I need more.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I don't know, maybe it's because women, I don't know, I
No.
do that.
yeah,
Like my coffee is also, I know coffee is not good, but it's a ritual for
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
and I need my time. It's like everything takes time for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
So I feel like I need more time and meditate and yeah.
so even like after I did this thing where I would even wake up 10 minutes earlier and I would bring it back, and I'm at a point now where I can meditate a little bit in the morning. I can go to the gym and like listen to some nice audiobooks like the Bhagavad Gita or whatever, and do all of these things, prepare my breakfast, prepare my lunch, so that I'm so fresh when it comes to my daily activities. And it's made like a complete 180 to the point where like you become encouraged to wake up earlier because you realize the benefits. It's not like it becomes demotivating every single day to wake up in the morning. There's something that you look forward to. It goes from being something like, because I don't like working. So it's like I wake up at 9:30 and I'm like, oh, it's like the first thing of my day, whether it's scrolling or whether it's like working, it's like the first thing I wake up in my day, I have to do something boring. But if you change that so that my motivation to wake up early is that I actually get to do something fun. I get to spend time for myself. I get to spend time for my health and for my spiritual wealth. Like it's like it completely changes my day. It makes I'm like so much happier now. So I think you already wake up like relatively early. So even just waking up in 10-minute increments, and, like slowly training yourself, and that like for me it took like a year to do that. Like, it was very gradual, and I'm still working on it. But I think a gradual change. Oh, yeah. You're raising.
I shouldn't have raised that.
No, that's why.
I think Shrika record a round of applause for that.
I didn't do anything.
That's great. Nadamani?
It's just Arjuna's in a position where he's in a certain material body, he has a certain nature, he has certain things he has to do, and he does them. But the difference is his consciousness. So, okay, 5 a.m. is too difficult. It's no problem. I know people that are very spiritual that get up later in the morning. The most important thing is to focus on what your consciousness is going towards in the morning. And so for us as monks, what we find is in the morning, the consciousness of the entire environment is much more, it's much lower in terms of amplitude, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody has a subtle body that's interacting with everything around you. And when people are awake, that's also active and it's also affecting your consciousness. So for us, when we get up in the morning, that's a way for us to focus our consciousness better because it's more clear. At the same time, you find something that's practical for you, that you can make time, a little bit of time, a little bit goes a long way, as Hadai was saying. And as you build that up, you actually become inspired to do more, and then naturally you just end up making time for it because you experience, this whole process is about experiencing the benefits of spiritual life. It's not like just do it and 50 years from now when you're about to die, it's like, no, you can experience it today, right now. So I think the most important thing is to learn where you can direct your consciousness in the morning and to direct that into more holistic spiritual things so that actually become more productive in the day when you do meditation. First thing. Something I was thinking.
That was great.
Thank you.
Thank you for the nice question and nice discussion. It was really helpful.
I just wanted to say also, I haven't been here in some time, and I'm so inspired by everyone here. All of you are asking me such nice questions, so I just wanted to say thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here.
Definitely when I speak, there's a lot of questions. So I just want to show this and then we'll do some more meditation. So this is your life, basically. It's an 18-year-old's remaining time in months. And I think I'm looking, and a lot of us are a little bit more than 18. So each row is 36. Each one is basically 3 years. So 36 divided by 12 is 3. So each bubble represents 1 month of your life. And so I just wanted to show you this because when I first saw it, it opened my eyes and really made me go deeper into my practice. That we lose 288 months of our life to sleep. 126 months is for work and school. Driving is about 18 months. Cooking and eating is about 36 months. Okay, so these are like things we need to do, and it's like it's hard to function without sleep, and what kind of quality of life without enough sleep? Okay, I get that. Next, bathroom and hygiene, 27 months. I mean, we're encouraging you to use bathroom. It's great. I recommend it. And so now 18 years of your life for an 18-year-old, he or she has about 334 months left of absolute free time. No school, no this. So the average screen time in America is about 7 hours and 34 minutes a day of computer, of this. That is not schoolwork related, and it is not work related. And so with a screen time of 7 hours a day, you can expect 312 months of your life to be behind a screen. And so so do 334 minus 312, how much is that?
You have less than 2 years.
22 months left. So this is it was a big wake-up call for me, because then I looked at my screen time, and was it more or less than 7 hours and 34 minutes? If it's more than 7 hours, then you must actually seriously think, where are you investing your time? Are you investing in temporality, scrolling, scrolling, and scrolling? Or are you investing in reality? So these are good questions to ask yourself. And for free, I'm offering a service, and I can look at all your screen times today, so you can be held accountable. I actually have a system with one of the monks upstairs. Is that because all the phone most of the monks here have phones, and they have we have a screen time app. So based on how much YouTube we can watch, or how much this app we can watch, because we can say, oh, we're watching spiritual lectures, but sometimes even monks get deviated off the path. So we have like a strict like 1 hour limit, 45-minute limit, and it's just a good control for yourself, and especially if you're not from the same country. Like she's from Switzerland, and if you imagine you make a vow with someone here and then they have the password. So this is meant for you to think, where are you investing your time? And we'll just end with a little bit of more meditation, because the best way to, in this age, which is we can't really focus very silently for too long. We can't really do as much yoga as prescribed by the Bhagavad Gita. But in this age, the way to make spiritual progress the fastest is described to be kirtan, which is the musical meditation on these names. So we're going to do this for a little bit, and feel free to clap, feel free to sing along, feel free to just observe. I'll be leading once, and then you guys can all repeat. Is that okay? Thank you so much. So I'll get the mantra back in. Actually, I'll just turn this off because the mantra is right behind me. Is that okay? You guys can see the mantra. Can you repeat after me? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare.
No more screen time.
No more screen time. So it's it for the day. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. What's up? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. One more time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One more time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone, loudly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. One more, last time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody loudly say Haribo. Thank you for the meditation. It's a different type of peacefulness. So thank you everybody for. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.